In this video here, I'm going to talk about how you calibrate your device for use with LineSmarts. There are a couple of sensors on your device that LineSmarts requires, namely the compass and the accelerometers. And if they're not calibrated correctly, and they can go out of calibration, then the results from your device can be inaccurate. So for the first example, this measurement here has got a poor compass calibration. So if we look at the location, after we've gone and identified poles in a span, we can see in this instance that the poles have not been correctly located. We can correct that by adjusting the heading, and so that's fine, the poles are in the correct position. However, if the compass had been correct in the first place, then that should have occurred automatically. The accelerometers in this instance are correct, but what you'll see if they're incorrect is that the blue lines in the image here, for when you've done your span measurement, they're intended to show vertical, but the device will think that vertical is something other than what it is. And so in this case, we can see that the blue lines are running through the poles, which are vertical. However, sometimes you might see a blue line not running through a pole when you can tell that the pole is vertical. In that case, it might be that your device is out of calibration. So this here is perhaps a better example, and so this is what you can do before going out of the office and before going and doing some surveying, is you can take a photo of something that you know to be vertical. And an example of that, in this case I've used a door frame, but it might be a building, the side of a building, or something else that you know is vertical. And if you do that and you create a span measurement using that thing, just a dummy one using dummy distances, then that blue line should still show what is vertical. And if the blue line doesn't match up with the thing in the image that you know to be vertical, then it suggests that the accelerometers are out. There's a way that you can calibrate both the accelerometers and the compass. And this video here shows you how to do that. And what I'm doing here in this video is I'm rotating this phone through 3 dimensions in a sort of 3-dimensional figure of 8. I'm rotating it through all the different axes, and I'm doing it fairly quickly. It's a bit awkward at first, but once you get the hang of it, it's fairly easy. And that will calibrate your device. It's something that's built in to Android devices, that they'll calibrate when they've moved through these axes. And so if you do that before you go and do a survey, that's a good idea. It'll allow the device to calibrate. You might want to check before going out on a survey, say taking a photo of something that you know to be vertical, to make sure that it is correct. In the case of the compass, generally it's not too critical if it's out, but it's convenient if it's correct. So you can check that as well, either by using a compass app to verify that that's pointing in the right direction, because the calibration that LineSmarts uses is the same one that all the other apps would use. Or another way might be to take a LineSmarts measurement and make sure that the poles are being located in the correct position. And so what we can see here, after having completed our calibration, is that those blue vertical lines are now lining up with the door frame, indicating that the calibration of the accelerometers is correct.